It's a very strange day in the world of Magic the Gathering. The most recent festival in a box is an absolute failure. Wizards of the Coast is engaged in an insane Ihop promotion, and on top of all that, they're talking about getting rid of druids and shamans from Magic, and for the life of me, I really can't figure out why.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for another juicy installment of Mega Magic News. We've got the IHOP situation. We've got the festival in a box failure. We've got the weird creature type situation with druids and shamans, and a couple of other fun notes to talk about as well. So let's start out talking about the festival in a box, because this is something Wizards has done in multiple iterations, and it seems to be getting progressively worse, right? The first festival in a box showed up and was like, yo, I'm here, bro, who wants me? And everybody was like, oh, me, Papa, me, I want you. Because the original festival in a box actually felt like it was what it was supposed to be. If you don't know the idea behind festival in a box, they basically go, yo, if you can't come out to a Magic festival, you can get the festival in a box, which is like the next best thing from being here. And the first one that they did, they're like, check it out. We've got a convention booster box and all this other awesome stuff. They had a special secret lair. They had sleeves, playmat, all kinds of bells and whistles that genuinely gave you the feeling that, yo, if you can't go to the festival, then you can snag this, and it will be an approximation of it. Obviously, you don't get the same level of socializing and getting to slang the magic, but it does feel like an actual festival in a box. But they couldn't leave well enough alone. That sold out pretty much instantly, so it was like, festival in a box is a winning concept. And these guys will buy whatever. We can just label anything now, and it'll be fine. So the next festival in a box, why don't we make it actually clearance in a box? So they did one where it was a whole bunch of commander decks. We're talking like Streets of New Capenna and Kamigawa commander decks, and you're just going, wait, what is this? It's literally, they just had backstock of this stuff, right? And they went, how do we dump it? So they made that festival in a box, and people went, and then they came out with this new one where they took basically everything out of it. You get like a mystery booster box. You get they did make a secret lair for it, which has like 3 cards in it. I don't even know if it really feels like an actual secret lair. Like the previous secret lair they did with the first festival in a box was Onagiri's adventure. And he was a little rice ball samurai, right? And he had to go on an adventure to save a princess. That was a really cool concept. But this secret lair feels like the one that they're doing now, the Mox box, it's just like they had a couple of extra arts kicking around and slapped it together and called it a secret lair. So it doesn't really have that vibe. And they're also doing that weird thing where they're including a Relentless Rats as a promo going, this is a secret lair, Relentless Rats. No, it's not. I'm tired of this nonsense where Wizards go, secret lairs are these box sets that we give you, but also there's certain kinds of promos that we give you as well. So this promo is for coming to the event, but this is a special secret lair promo. And then they wander around the events giving out these little packets that go, here you go, it's one of 295 of this one particular card. Secret Lair has turned into a mess. But regardless, you have virtually nothing in this festival in a box. You've got the mystery pack, you've got the Secret Lair and the bonus card, and then you've got a bunch of loose boosters. I thought that the Commander deck one was totally like a clearance, but this is an absolute clearance item where all of the different packs, it's totally random. You just look at it and go, 4 of this, 1 of this, 2 of this. What's going on? Even the mystery boxes at this point are basically clear out as far as I'm concerned, because Wizards made all this stuff basically back in the day when it was what, Channel Fireball was still doing all the events and everything like that. That's crazy. That's before Channel Fireball collapsed and everything. So much has happened in the last few years that when I start to think back and I go, whoa, but regardless, that Festival in a Box, the most recent one they've announced, is the biggest clearance festival in a box so far, and you're getting the results you expect from it, where nobody's really biting. They're selling some of them maybe, but it's still up for sale weeks and weeks later. When Wizards has a product that people want, the previous Festival in a Box was gone like in a day or two, and people were lamenting they couldn't get it. But there's nothing special about this. It's an absolute random grab bag of boosters, and they want $250 US for it, right? It's pretty much the exact same price as the first Festival in a Box, but with nothing going on for it. And the reports are there's something like 500,000 booster packs that are being floated out there by Wizards, just going, come on, man, buy these festivals in a box, buy this crap we can't get rid of. Why do you think Standard got extended to 3 years? Because Wizards has a bunch of product that they need to get rid of, and they're just looking at any way to do it. So the Festival in a Box is an absolute failure. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last Festival in a Box we see. I also wouldn't be surprised if they did more, even more ultra clear out level, because this definitely doesn't clear out the backlog, right? Wizards has a ton of old product, and especially stuff from like the Capenna, Kamigawa era, that kind of stuff didn't really do very well at all. Kamigawa did okay as a set, but the demand for like loose boosters and the commander decks and everything, pretty much non-existent. So that is an abject failure. Let's move on to the next item on the list. Let's talk about what's going on with the crazy Ihop promotion. So it started out with a promotional image that people thought was a joke. You take a look at it, you see 5 planeswalkers, and you see 5 stacks of pancakes in front of them, and you go, wait, I'm sorry, what is this? This is like a meme, right? And no, actually, it's the real deal. So when you look at the image, you can see that they have 5 different planeswalkers, but only 4 different kinds of pancakes. It looks like they basically just made the same pancake stack, but shorter for one of the planeswalkers, because they're like, eh. So that was the first thing we heard about it, and it seemed like that might be all was going on, right? Where they go, okay, come on into the Ihop, and we'll give you arena codes. It's so strange. I guess this is just an extrapolation of what's happened in other areas in the gaming world. Like, I don't remember how long ago they started doing the, yay, if you buy this pop and these potato chips, we'll give you codes in your game for double experience. And I mean, if you like those treats already and it's something for your game, that kind of promotion does feel weird to me, but I also recognize that more and more I'm turning into an old man, shaking my fist at the clouds, going, why is everything so different? But the IHOP thing felt really weird. Like, you're just going to go in and get arena codes? Like, what is this? Is there anything more to it? Well, there was more to it, apparently. They had a specially sponsored area by IHOP at the GP Vegas. So at the Grand Prix, or whatever you want to call it, MagicCon, the Grand Vegas event, they had an IHOP area, and they actually have IHOP gear. Take a look at this. This is an IHOP pancake playmat with the mana symbols in it. And this is where the IHOP promotion went from like, is anything going on with it, to yo, this is actually insane. This is a really cool concept, like for real. It's strange, it's out there. I mean, with Throne of Eldraine as well, we've got a whole food token concept going on a lot. You've got a bunch of different food enemies and things, so this has a nice dovetail with that. And they didn't just go with a playmat. You got to be thinking to yourself, yo, if I'm rocking an IHOP playmat, can I rock IHOP sleeves? And the answer to that question is yes. Yes, you can. Take a look at the IHOP pancake sleeves. Now, originally, when I saw just the sleeves by themselves, I was kind of underwhelmed. They didn't really transmit the pancake concept to me. It's somewhat muted, I feel like. When you combine it with the playmat, that's when you move into crazy territory, where you're like, I am the Pancake Lord! But the question you gotta be asking yourself is, Pancake Lord? What if I want to be a pancake god? Well, that's when you need to get the official IHOP bag and tokens to go with it as well. So all of this stuff was available in Vegas, and people have snapped it up. I think that it's all been acquired already. I'm not 100% sure. So I think the only way you can get this stuff now is literally through the secondary market, where you got to find somebody who's trying to get who's trying to unload it, because there are multiple people I've seen posted in different Facebook groups who are actively looking for this. People in the accessory group, people in the rare and oddity group are like, bro. Like, actually, somebody in charge of the Magic Rarity and Oddity group was like, okay, so when I first saw this Ihop stuff, I thought it was a meme, and so we just deleted the posts because we thought they were fake. But it turns out this is legitimately real. We've reached the point where people who deal with oddities and craziness in Magic can't even keep up with it and are being blindsided. I love this Ihop stuff and would love to have it. It is a lot of fun. Now, talking about unexpected things, this is going to be particular to Canada. So this doesn't apply to a bunch of you, but you can feel good for us as Canadians, because finally, one time in our lives, there's a deal going on for us. This has never happened before, but Magic the Gathering is being sold in Costco. I don't know if you have Costco's in like the States, or they're called something else, but those are the big warehouse places where if you're like, hi, I'm looking for eggs, excellent, we sell them in a giganto crate of 1 million eggs at a time. You want a bag of chips? Okay, it's bigger than your wife, like one of those kind of places. So if you don't know what Costco is, it's that kind of vibe. I'm going to put a picture up for you here. This is the big old sign hanging in the Costco. I never thought I would see anything saying Magic the Gathering, but here we have it. Magic the Gathering Commander Legends English Bundle. So you get one commander deck. Now you get to actually pick from the different 4 commander decks. You don't have to just go with the one, right? And then you have a a set booster, right? From, what is it? Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Everything gets all twisted up in my head now. So it's not a collector booster, it's just a set booster, all right? On top of that, you get 2 bonus card exclusive cards, and then 2 recent set boosters. Now, this kind of feels to me like the stuff that they have in the Walmarts in the States, where you can get like a package that has a special Magic promo in it that has the 5 mana symbols printed on it that you can only get from them. So I don't know if this is the same group and they've just spread their wings further to fly. It is weird that it's Commander Legends at this time. You know what I mean? I guess speaking of Magic clearance, it falls into that category. But you have to understand, in Canada, we never get deals. There are never Amazon dumps. On top of that, Canadian money is weaker than American money. If you're an American, your money's worth like 30% more than ours, right? So knock like 25% off this price to get the price that you would be paying. But we never get Amazon dumps. We never get any real discounts. We have to pay higher prices with our Canadian money. And when Magic is imported, there are duties applied to that, which is part of what cranks it up for us. Now, we're not getting as hosed as people in, let's say, like Australia, well, it's rough, New Zealand, those guys. We're talking $7, $8 a booster pack. It's absolutely wild. But in Canada, we don't normally get deals like this. And I, for one, was excited to see that, because underneath it all, I'm like, more? Are we going to get more good deals? I want more Magic, and deals are always welcome. Now, the next item I want to talk about is obviously the Druid or Shaman situation, right? This is one where, if you didn't know, Wizards of the Coast has actually removed Witch as a creature type from the game, which is baffling to me. When you look at Throne of Eldraine, I actually had to go and look this up, but if you go and look at some of the witches from Throne of Eldraine, you'll find out that they're warlocks. And I literally don't understand why you'd be like, well, we don't have Witch as a creature type, but we call them witches, and then we're going to call them warlocks now, but that's apparently to not offend anybody? Wizards is making some really weird changes to not offend anybody. They've stopped using the word tribal internally, and they just use the word typal, because I don't know how they got the idea that tribal is an offensive word when there are like tribes of people that use it. Like, they've gone so far off the deep end in terms of changes they feel like they need to make. I don't know if it's just they're paying attention to a bunch of lunatics on Twitter, or if they've hired consultants and those consultants have run out of things to get paid for pointing out our problems. Because somebody asked Mark Rosewater, okay, so you don't have witch as a creature type anymore. You're not using that. So what about druids and shamans? Like, what's happening there? And Rosewater's response was, internally, right now, they're at the company, right now, at this time frame, they're having discussions on that exact subject. So we've reached the point where a game that's about, it's called magic. It's about casting magic spells. Witches, shamans, and druids aren't, they're not allowed because it'll upset somebody or something? Really? Like, druids? Is it because of the Stonehenge thing? Like, I'm genuinely completely lost. It's the most insane thing that I've seen all day. Where I went, but it's a game about magic, and druids have been in it since the beginning, and they're cool, and shamans are wizards that are, what? Like, what is going on? Anyways, that's all the news that's fit to discuss today. I'll be doing a fun live stream over on my other YouTube channel, Hatcher, and I'll do that tonight. In the meantime, if you want some goodness, I have some old school Magic the Gathering and some newer school Magic the Gathering gameplay over on my stream archive, so I'll leave a link at the end here if you want to check that out too. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Big shout out to my patrons. You guys are the best people on the planet. Thanks for supporting me. And I'll see you all for the next video or tonight in a fun live stream. We're getting big circles. See you later.